For the month of August, I wanted to talk to you about the theme, and this is going to be a theme for my business and my offering of what I move forward with, and that is authentic inclusion. It is belonging, not fitting, and they are really, really important considerations for yourself, for your culture, for the people that work with you and for you. Because even just to give a bit of a distinction, now when we talk about authentic inclusion, what that looks like is not just a statement on a wall, ticking a box. It is looking at how you embed this. What does it mean to have everyone on board and championing each other, considering different values, different opinions, different cultures? What does it look like when you see silos of people and cliques, as to still encourage that connection, because people need that strong connection, but not when it excludes others or creates any source of negativity to other people around. It also looks like ensuring there is a response consideration if something negative has happened. As people, we tend to then want to vent. It's natural, we want to get it off our chest, and we inevitably go and speak to the people that we're closest to. We don't always go and speak to, the team lead or the person in, direct line of supervision in the hierarchy. Sometimes it looks like just getting it off your chest, having a chat to someone near. But the key is that it doesn't then transgress into something that pulls everyone else in, that it then becomes a thing. If you are the person venting, recognize that you are getting it off your chest, but then look at an action plan as to how to move forward. If you are the person listening, you don't jump in with it and start adding to it. It's then also two things. Prompting questions. Okay, I hear you. What are the steps forward that will enable you to move past this and resolve it? Second question. Have you spoken to the person directly? This really needs to be encouraged. If they cannot, it's then looking at, okay, who else do you need to speak to then ensure you can resolve this in a really conducive way to a good outcome. Because conflict is natural in life, but it's how you deal with it. So that's one aspect to really consider on the inclusion and when things are difficult. But when I talk about belonging, not just fitting, quite often as people, we want to fit. And in the past, what that looks like is diluting yourself and maybe what you think, maybe who you are, and ignoring your needs or other people's needs to try and get this cohesion, this forced fitting. That's not belonging. Belonging is when people feel psychologically and emotionally safe within the environment. It means they are accepted for who they are, for how they are, their uniqueness, their different perspectives. It also means that you have a culture of openness, of transparency and feedback, where people can feel safe to raise questions, to raise concerns, to raise different viewpoints, and to be heard. Now, if you've got an environment where there is lots of talking behind backs and that doesn't come out, that's a challenge and that's something to look at. If your environment also doesn't feel like people are forthcoming with ideas, that's also a red flag. If you have people where you have those big silos and you don't see enough connectivity or consideration for differences, again, another red flag. If you feel any kind of tension, red flag. The green flags are where you have, absolutely, you might still have different groups, because as social beings, we have people that we connect to better, obviously. So you don't want to try and get rid of that. That's sometimes, why people look forward to coming into work for that. but it's to encourage it. And when you see that then flows across, that strength is created through different divisions, different departments, different cultures, different beliefs, and that openness and consideration is applied to everyone. Another green flag is if you have an environment where people feel safe to raise ideas or to raise concerns and have a conversation. Another green flag is where people feel safe and comfortable receiving feedback, even if it is not great, that they're open to taking things on board and they are not defensive. So there's just a couple of things, and look, this is something that we could go on and have a long conversation about. This is probably a whole day's workshop in here. But that's just a couple of things as food for thought. So I hope it's been of use. Thank you for watching. And if you want to know more, if any of this has sparked anything for you, then please reach out and let's have a chat.